So I just got to my sister's studio, Jordan Mac Studios. Let's go inside and say what up, doll. Eddie. Eddie. What up, Doe?
Hey.
We got Nate, Cameron, Kimberly, J Mac on the Mac.
What's up?
And Eddie. Wait.
Hey.
Relax.
Sit.
Relax.
Eddie. He wants that fuzzy. Let. Eddie. Eddie. No. It's a camera.
Away. So right now I am here in Detroit, Michigan with my sister Jordan Mac. And we are indeed at Jordan Mac Studios, Boss Image, Mac Talent Agency. Yeah. And you must know, like, half the things that I do in my life and many of the things that inspired me to pursue all the things that I desire and I dream of is due to this woman right here, my homie. We call her Auntie JJ. Auntie, I just call her my sister because I don't know why. I don't know where that whole auntie thing came from. But كيف حالك? كيفك بخير في نعمة الحمد لله. So this is someone who pretty much just raised me and facilitated everything that I needed to pursue the things that I wanted to pursue. We were just like some kids breakdancing on the streets, literally. We came across the studio one day, well over a decade ago, and she was like, hey, yeah, you know, come dance here if you guys want. We're like, screw it, really? Okay. So it's been like that ever since, and I just definitely had to introduce you all to her because I feel that I necessarily wouldn't be where I am today without this footprint in my life. Itu dia. That's Indonesian for that's it. So tell us a little bit about Jordan Mac Studios. What have you guys been up to?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about how we met, actually.
Okay, tell us a little bit about how we met.
Starting of everything. So I was 16, 17, had an idea, turned 18, tried to start a studio, skipped the whole college thing. Was working 3 jobs to pay the overhead in this little small, like 800 square foot location.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Took like a year to save up for wood floors and then like another half a year for mirrors. And that's when this cat came by trying to act all grown. Yeah. And he was like, oh, so you got a studio here? And I was like, yeah, what's your name? Oh, well, we're looking to rent, you know, we're B-boys and we need a place to...
B-boy.
to B-boy. And I was just like, well, hey, I got this space and I'm trying to start something, but I basically just work here in between and you guys can use it. And so they just used the space and they were always willing to be like, hey, do you need help with anything? And I was kind of tunnel vision, just working, trying to figure out what am I doing. And they would practice, and then one day I came out and I was like, hey, let me book you guys. I'm gonna book you guys. And so remember we did that like opening of Cold Stone Creamery? Man,
we did so many casinos, outdoor summer events, so many, too many to name, like from dancing. I remember even when me and Ben, you guys saw in the other vlog, me and Ben, we were looking to start like a photography studio, which we called 7 Pounds.
Oh, I remember
and
that.
She hooked us up with the location, so we were just shooting out of there, man. We were on top of the world. It was definitely a memorable experience, especially that was like the first time I ever really got into studio photography. So it was really cool, man. And that was at like I would say the genesis of like social media, like right before Instagram, where Facebook was still popping. And I remember we would do a lot of our shoots and we'd have like the shoots live streaming on Facebook, and so like all these fans of 7 Pounds would just log onto the Facebook and watch us shoot. And it was always just hip, good music and full of energy, many people just hanging around. So
yeah, and you guys were good. I'm just saying, like you know what I mean, I had basic concept of lighting and you were good at those headshots, and
yeah,
I was proud of you guys. I remember John. I remember back then we were switching. It was like groundbreaking. Like we were still shooting film when I was in business because digital wasn't out, and all the photographers were like, "Oh, I'll never go digital. No way," you know. And
not real photography.
Yeah, and
you can shoot as much as you want.
Quickly, they learned they couldn't afford not to because you know film was so expensive to print. But I remember I had this camera. It was pretty decent. And I was like, you know what, John, you can have this. It's film. Yeah. So he never probably did much with it, but I think that was like one of his first, you know, nice cameras. And now he's a photographer.
Yeah, yeah.
Alvin's a photographer. Yeah. And you still do video and photography. photography.
Yep. Still shooting. Just finished up the exhibit for photography at Fine Arts Museum of Houston, Texas. The next one will be at Cooper Hewitt, New York in February, end of February. Smithsonian Museum.
Don't let me botch that one up.
I know, right? Let me Google that first real quick. Now you guys are here in this new location, fairly new, about 5 years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Mac Studios focus on dance, right?
Yeah, so when I was 18, 19, basically I didn't know.
She still is.
No, I'm far from that, double that.
Now married with kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And a dog. Crazy dog.
Shout
Not
out
crazy.
to all the dog
He's
lovers.
actually an exciting and thrilling, charismatic dog.
He's a puppy.
Yeah, that's what they say, but you saw that dog. That was no damn puppy.
He's smart though.
He's a big puppy.
He's got tricks.
He's a Labradoodle, which is poodle, Labradoodle.
But how? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Genetics.
So long story short, when I was younger, I was really ambitious, and pretty much anything I saw, I was like, ooh, I want to do that, or there's a million ways to start a business. There's a million ways to make $1 million. There's a million ways to fail too.
This is true.
I personally needed a place to go when I was young that didn't exist. I wanted to break into the industry, and my only options, because even the internet wasn't big at that time, was save up all you can and try to fly out to New York or LA and try to figure it out. That just didn't make sense to me. I would never have enough in my pocket to do that. I started working when I was 14 to save up for a car, and then start back at zero and saving up to either
14.
I know kids nowadays, right? They don't even get a job until after college.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Because my best
ridiculous.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Education is good. Where you get it from it doesn't have to be just from a college, that's for sure.
Well, you know what they say. Those who founded Harvard didn't go to Harvard.
Oh, true. Yeah. Right.
Because they founded it.
Yeah.
So there was no Harvard before they founded it, right?
And there's something about street smart, and wit. So I hit the ground running and was trying to develop actors, dancers, singers, models. Wanted to become an agency, was booking the dancers. Got a call from Bacardi. That was my first big booking.
Shout out to Bacardi.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out this. Well, I'm sure this was in between Bacardi and the booking person for the event, but they were like, oh, we need to book break dancers, and our budget is $500, and we need 10 or 15 dancers. And I was like, okay. And of course that puts me in the hole, because I paid everybody $100, but I had the bragging right and the confidence and some footage and photos, and I was like, I'm a talent agent. you know? And then I always did a good job. I was known for, if you called me, I'd say yes. I'd make it happen. Now, one time somebody even called me too. They're like, I'm not sure why I'm calling you yet, but I was told to call you because you make things happen. I was like,
away.
But slowly then, a client was like, we know you book dancers, do you book models? Again, I said yes, I didn't. Searched through MySpace at the time, hit up a bunch of pretty girls. Wanted to sign them, but they didn't have good photos, so I found myself sitting with parents explaining to them why they need good photos. Basically consulting for free, one parent at a time, hour to 2 hours at a time. And I realized I just need to do this once a month, put a whole bunch of people in the room, tell them about the industry and why these particular photos are needed. And then they would go shoot photos, come back with just portrait studio photos. I'm like, I can't send these to Maserati and Lamborghini. Then I got into the photography business and was booking a photographer, but then you're a scam if you're a talent agent that's also selling photos. So I knew real quickly that I had myself a couple of companies now. So I have a talent agency that would just strictly book talent and take a percentage. That's just how that industry works. No fees to sign up with an agency, but also no guarantees. And then I had a development company where I was coaching how to break into the industry and preparing people with photography and website logos and images, basically consulting. And so that became Detroit Talent Studio. And for many, many years...
And I remember Detroit Talent Studio very well, because that was I never really had a 9-to-5 job. I used to work at a Japanese market and sushi bar. It was never really 9 to 5. That was after I finished high school classes. I was still in high school during my high school years, but after I finished school, then I'd go straight over to Noble Fish. Shout out to Noble Fish, Japanese market, sushi bar. But then I had my real Monday through Friday, I would be at Detroit Talent Studio, DTS. That was very classic. And some of the best photographs I ever took also was just for the whole empire that Jordan has built. I still got some photographs to this day that are some of my favorites.
Just side note, you helped me buy my first Mac computer and my first camera and my first lens.
I remember.
I mean, I'm not a photographer or videographer, but just for the company, so the studio had that equipment.
D2DL.
Yeah. Wow, we go way, way back.
Way back when I used to wear the wave caps and I had the lumberjack to match. So, boss image.
Okay, so eventually after 10 years of working with bleeding hearts and struggling artists and, you know, creating websites that should cost a couple grand but doing them for free because an artist doesn't have a budget, or they need all their money for the recording studio, or they need great photos but they don't have the, you know, after doing awesome services for the wrong price, but that's where my heart was, I came across an entertainment lawyer that needed help with a business plan for Mick Mars from the Motley Crue. If you don't know about rock, Hall of Famers for sure. I didn't know about rock. I grew up off hip hop. I had to Google. I did not know. Don't hate me. But anyways, I came across her, and she needed help because he wanted to start a record label in Nashville. So I reached out to one of our consultants, Scott Guy. Shout out to Scott Guy. And he helped produce a beautiful business plan that had this lawyer just reach back out to us like, wow, thank you so much. And then that lawyer said, well, I need a website. Can you do my website? I need photos. Can you do my photos? I need a video. I need copy. I need a logo. I need image consulting. Can you help me shop? Pick out the hair color shade that's best for me and eyeglasses. Anyways, I basically sold her everything that we had to offer at Detroit Talent Studio other than dance classes. And then I realized, wow, I don't have the wrong products. I have the wrong clientele. And so I pulled out everything from Detroit Talent Studio other than dance, and named that company Jordan Mac Studios, which took a long time because I loved that name, Detroit Talent Studio, but it was
DTS.
And then I put everything else in Boss Image, and I rebranded it to have a new target market of a entrepreneur or a business owner. And so we still do all the same things and currently under the same roof, but they're very much separate companies. And it's been great too because dance is my love, it's my baby, it's my everything.
Passion.
Yeah, and so it's good to just focus on the dancer as opposed to the model, the singer, the actor, the entrepreneur. It's just Jordan Mac Studios right now is purely dancers, whether you want to do it recreational, just for fun, or you are serious and you want a professional career and you don't know how to get a talent agent or get yourself out there.
And now you guys are booking like for all over the world. I remember you guys even booking something for China, right?
Yeah.
That's fresh. Jordan Mac, Detroit, Jordan Mac Studios. You can find that right here on Instagram, on social webs, social medias.
Don't live life thinking that it only gets good once you figure it out. Don't do that to yourself. I mean, so many people say, you know, it's the journey, not the destination, and that's true, man. That's what it's all about. I mean, even when you're booking a vacation or planning for something, or like even when I'm like getting a new location and I'm decorating, like it is so good to create and to be a part of the evolution of it as opposed to just arrive at it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, even just like when you're working out, you think like you just want the six-pack or you want the results, but there is such satisfaction in figuring out what doesn't work and what does work, to be able to own and be responsible for the outcome, that was you. That was you. And I think that's where it's good. I think that's why I have so many things going on. It's because it really is the development part.
I dig it. Don't think it's finally good when you figured it out. The journey is just as important as the destination, and that's what it is. Coming to you live from Jordan Mac Studios here in Detroit, Michigan. Holla.